Hello, listening people.
G'day, mates.
I'm not Ryan.
And I'm also not Ryan.
And you're also not Bartek, because that's me!
Yes, indeed. I'm Luke Peverelle, once again filling in for Ryan, who is taking an extended visit home.
Yes, and once again you are at Luke and Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces, where we find the movies that have not been appreciated in time, and we give them the love that they deserve. Day deserve.
And also nice deserve.
And also nice deserve.
Nice deserve.
And we hope that through our efforts, we can give them a more cult status in time.
We want these to be put on that heritage listed thing that they do in America where, like, a movie is a piece of art and they put it away in case of the nuclear war so that humanity can resurrect itself. Yeah.
So, Ryan recovered from his injury last week when he undersold Snow Dogs, but this time he got in a bus accident and is in an island now, and he's stuck and he's waiting for a helicopter of monkeys to save him, I guess.
A jet-propelled, monkey-navigated rocket.
I think the audience will buy that.
Yes.
So this week we are doing the last episode of our Dog Month Dogathon that we've been doing this February.
It's a dog's life, ladies and gents. You heard it here first.
What a fun month it's been. Ryan and Luke have been in the same number of episodes, but between the two of you guys, you've been in every Dog Month episode.
It's been a good month.
Yes, so we've had Scooby-Doo 1, which you were the guest on.
Yeah, and what a movie it was.
Scooby-Doo 2, which was also a fantastic. Shaggy Dog, which was also
a movie.
Which was a movie that was also very fan. You saw that one?
Yeah, Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen was in that one.
Mm-hmm.
They're Tim Allen in that movie. That's a callback.
Indeed.
Then last week we did Snow Dogs.
Starring Cuba Gooding Jr.'s face.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s malleable face.
Indeed.
And now, what is the movie that we are doing this week? Ask me that question so that I can do the title.
What movie are we doing this week, Bort?
This week we are doing Stare Psy, or Stare Wiki, as the localization title was.
What does that mean?
Because you do not speak Polish.
Nope, dirty Italian.
You were in the Axis powers and we were the ones invaded. Oh, this got real. The movie Stare Psy, or Stare Wiki, is Old Dogs.
Starring Robin Williams and John Travolta.
And John Travolta and Robin Williams.
Indeed.
Luke, I don't think we can do this one alone.
No, I don't think we can. We're going to have to call in a third party to help us out.
Good thing there's one sitting right next to me. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for this episode is Mr. Daniel Visser.
Oh, thanks for calling. It's an honour to be here.
Thanks for coming in, Dan.
It's fantastic to have you. So, ladies and gentlemen who are listening people, and the gentlemen who are next to me as the episode people, I guess, are you guys ready for Old Dogs?
I hope we are.
This is a third Disney movie in a row that we're doing here for Dog Month. We started off with 2 Warner Brothers movies, so this movie is very much aimed at a family demographic.
Well, aren't we a real family here, Bartek? You, me, and the dog.
Thank you.
So, you can watch this one with your kids if you want, or you could watch it with your mates. That's the Australian word for friend for all you people who are not Australian.
Should you be without family and mates, you can take this to a public place, crank up the noise, and piss off people around you, as God intended.
And eventually go to prison and watch it with your inmates.
Yeah, there you go. Dan the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to begin the movie in 3, 2, 1... 1.5, I know I'm going the wrong way. 1.7, I'm still going the wrong way. I'm going to start it from 2 again. 2, 1, play. Luke, can you see the screen?
Yes. There it is.
I'm glad you can see it.
This is my favourite opening graphic sort of thing.
Oh yeah, when it starts by showing you the side of the castle.
What I always wondered about is, because you can see through the gate, right? It appears to be some sort of water lock, but how do you get there if you are not coming by boat?
Maybe the train. I don't know if it goes. I don't know if it goes behind the castle or not.
I think there are some bridges out to the sides there. Maybe. Still, that's weird because it appears to be facing us.
It's Cinderella's castle, right?
I think so.
So, how do they do it in the movie? Because I don't know if I've seen it.
No idea.
So I like this montage here that we start the movie off with, giving us a little history on the characters and the John Travolta.
In sepia glory.
For some reason, this looks nostalgic to me. But when was this made?
This movie's from 2009.
Oh, that was a good year
Not that nostalgic.
for other people.
Oh,
Okay, some of
That
these.
hair.
Oh god, some of these faces.
So what movies have you guys seen that had young Travolta and young Williams?
Grease.
I love Grease.
Grease is the word.
Saturday Night Fever.
That's a good one too.
Does Pulp Fiction count?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was the 90s, but yeah.
Man,
No, Pulp Fiction's great.
Let's not forget Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, which his wife was also in. And you know what else his wife has been in?
What?
This movie.
We have his daughter in this one too.
Yeah, so
Ella-
yeah, his wife and his daughter have been passed on to Robin Williams in this movie.
Okay.
There's Robin himself, kicking ass, taking names.
The karate thing doesn't really come back into play. Like, maybe they didn't do so well.
Yeah, maybe they learned from their mistakes. Here we
Yeah.
see a red blot next to John Travolta's head.
What is that symbolic of?
The slow degradation of moral acuity.
It represents his stardom, because if you look that close to a star, you know, you're not going to see much because you're going to be blinded. So this city,
New York,
New York,
and that's Central Park.
David Diamond wrote this film,
Good for him.
and it was directed by Walt Becker.
Thanks,
Or
Walt.
Beckler. I saw the name for a second. Maybe we'll see another of his movies very soon. Foreshadowing.
There they are.
Oh, we have a dog.
There are the titular dogs.
Already we've got the 3 old dogs of the movie. And that is what qualifies this movie for Dog Month.
Mm-hmm.
Is that dog wearing sleeves?
No, he's got little socks on.
Here they're being, you know, manly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing 10 miles. You can tell because they told the women that they are doing 10 miles.
I wonder if that's what happens when you get old. You start to pretend everything.
I did find the whole we're old aspect of this movie funny. You know, they are constantly being called grandparents, old people, and having problems. Like, there was a whole scene of them talking about their medication.
Really?
What do you mean, really? You've seen this movie?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I
comedy.
was messing with you. Ah, take that, kid.
So
You're a monster.
I probably should have... I mean, he couldn't help it. I mean, he kicked the ball and it took a few seconds to get there. The kid didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's showing that they are... While it doesn't really make too much logical sense, it establishes the fact that they are sort of out of touch with the world.
They're out of time.
Yeah.
But I'm out of my head when you're not around.
We should also establish that Seth Green is in the second movie for this Dog Month, because he was in Scooby-Doo 2 as Velma's love interest. So he's back.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have asked this before we started the movie, but do you guys have a history with this movie at all?
Yes, indeed. I look upon this as one of Robin Williams' not so great movies, but I'm sure everyone does that.
Well, in comparison to obviously the big ones, but
Yeah, like Flubber. And...
it does, you know, need much more credit because it is actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
isn't
I mean, jeez, would you look at this thing?
it? Daniel, have you seen this movie before?
I
this?
haven't quite seen it, but I usually enjoy a Robin Williams movie no matter what it is. So, do you reckon it's like more of a writing problem than a Robin Williams performance?
That is good.
Well,
question.
maybe the audience didn't, you know, really get it, but if they really paid attention, they would see that this movie is actually very fantastic. Like, I mean, the only real issue with, I guess, Robin Williams is that at the beginning of the movie, especially when he meets his
Oh,
annulled wife /
Yeah.
John Travolta's wife in real life, that rhymed, he plays it very awkwardly.
Yeah.
With all the giggling, and she too, but like with her, she kind of seems a little bit crazy, doesn't she?
I guess they have to balance each other out.
Yeah, that is true.
It's funny, guys. Robin
Williams.
looks like he wants to smack John Travolta.
I always like their dynamic with the Japanese businessmen in this movie.
how are they portrayed? It looks like a typical "we are Asian," like a one-dimensional kind of.
Yeah, like
Betrayal.
that Seinfeld episode where Kramer was chaperoning 4 Japanese businessmen, and they had no real will of their own.
Well, in Japanese culture, business is, not to use the word again, but heavy business.
Ah.
Like, they are very serious, they have values. So, like, later on in this movie, the head guy, I think his name is Nishimura?
Ishimura?
It's one of those two. The reason I'm confused is because I think there was an IMDb review that I'm going to read later that said it wrong or typed it wrong.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out.
He gives a lot of... he says a lot of things about business, that this is not how you start a business relationship. You know, we need this sort of person for this business. So this movie sort of counterbalances the whole family values thing that this movie has with the whole business practices thing. But later on in the movie, there is in a very touching moment, there's a kind of understanding between the two. And, you know, we said that, you know, they're kind of stereotypical, very serious and all that, but they do have a sense of humor in this scene.
Look at them.
And when they play golf later on, it's a fantastically cast Japanese businessman.
Do we ever see Travolta impersonate them?
I hope not.
I feel like that'll be a thing in this movie, just from guessing.
Oh, do we? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No, this movie is very friendly.
Yes.
Fremont.
We can all get on board with that.
We all know what Fremont is, right?
It's kind of ice cream.
Is it?
I have no idea.
No, guys, Fremont's a place. He wanted free man on his tattoo, but he got a tattoo of a place. Isn't that funny?
Represent.
It's funny because it could have been something offensive. Like, I don't know, fuckboy or something, but no.
Or Fook
We
boy.
got... Or Fook-boy, that's...
Banzai.
Banzai.
They could have gone Banzai.
But no, we just got a place. And, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything except for the fact that it is foreshadowing the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, spoiler.
Okay,
He's catching on.
here we go. It's business time. It's time for the pointy clicky thing.
We'll just skip it.
Wow, I wish
Because
real life was like that.
Well, then you should probably get into the world of Click with Adam Sandler.
Ah, yes.
Christopher Walken's in that, you'll like
He is.
it.
He's the angel of death. Oh,
Yeah.
spoilers.
Is that on your list of underappreciated masterpieces?
I don't think so, because that movie, of all of Adam Sandler's movies that I've seen as, you know, comedies, that one's generally sort of liked, so probably not. Oh, Nishimura.
There we go.
Okay, so the IMDb review was right, and I was the wrong.
You were the wrong.
Isn't it fantastic that you can watch a movie again and just learn?
Yeah, especially just how much Seth Green looks like he doesn't want to be here.
Seth Green is a very interesting character in this movie. You probably know where I'm going with this, but
Yeah.
right now you can see he's sort of like a serious character, businessman. He's got his
Yeah.
eye on the prize.
Right.
And then later on, his character does a complete 180.
Really?
What do you mean? Have you seen this movie?
No, I'm just joking, Bartek. I got you twice now, jeez.
You're scaring me, Luke. I'm
Sorry.
talking about a movie as if you guys have seen it.
We will try to not scare Bartek no more. There, dog.
Mm-hmm. A very old dog.
Mhm.
Like, literally, he is an old dog, because, you know, he's pissing while he's moving.
Whoa.
He's leaking.
Oh, look at his face.
How old is that dog, he asks, and John Travolta doesn't even know.
It's a
No.
record.
He just knows that it's a record.
Well, that's probably the only thing he cares about.
So yeah, Seth Green, he does a complete 180 in this movie from what he is now. It happens around the point where he goes to the airport, I believe.
So how does he change? Does he go childlike?
After the point where he does change, it does rather become childlike. Since you clearly don't know, we'll save the surprise for Daniel.
Mwah. Ha, ha, ha.
It's okay. When we did the Snow Dogs episode, part of it was our guests first sort of seeing the movie for the first time and like appreciating it as it comes along. So we can do the same for you, Daniel. Do not worry.
Oh, the dog is sad.
Mm-hmm. And you know, whenever you see a movie with a dog that emotes, people are automatically going to, you know, not side with the dog, but
They'll
feel
sympathise.
They'll sympathise with the dog, which
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think is a little bit cheap because it works all the time pretty much, so you could do something different, but you know what? I don't mind it with this movie because it works really well.
Yeah, plus we have to look at John Travolta's face emote for 90 minutes, so
John Travolta is very nice.
he is, but his face scares me on
You know
occasion.
you know what's funny is
What?
I think this movie was made after Wild Hogs, and in that movie I think he looks a lot older.
It's true. Maybe it was just the wind hitting him in the face
Yeah.
when he rode that motorbike.
I guess with that movie, that movie also has the joke that they're kind of old, but they're trying to be young, but
Yeah, no.
in that one they're supposed to try to be a bit tougher. So they use their age. To be honest, I've seen that movie before, but it was while I was playing a video game, so it was like kind of on the side.
Ah.
And I remember liking the movie, but then again, I don't know if it was because I liked the movie or if it was because I was enjoying the game I was playing.
It's a good question. All right,
but
here we go.
I will rewatch it and I will be able to give thoughts on it.
There's a 2001 reference for all you naysayers out there.
So that's something else. The kids probably won't get it, but the adults will.
Yeah.
I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. I fell asleep and woke up again and watched it. You laugh, but I challenge you to watch that movie without falling asleep and then watching it later on.
Oh, good. It's time for Mumbo number 5.
So, to use the TV trope term, Robin Williams is very much the butt monkey of this film.
Ah, very good.
A lot of things happen to him that are unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
And it's, even though he does have a deep friendship with his friend who's he friendly friendship with, his friend is sort of the cause of this mishap because he prevents the resolution from happening.
Much like Lewis and other guy in Kangaroo Jack.
Was Lewis the black guy or the white guy?
He was the black guy.
Okay. I'm glad you remember because that movie was like 12 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And I have to remember 15 well, this is the 15th episode. And when we started this show, Unappreciated Masterpieces, I thought that it would be better if we have everything self-contained, like not make references to other episodes. But I found that as our reputation increased and we'd seen more movies, we can relate things that we're watching now to previous movies, and I think that alleviates like the learning experience of the show.
I think you're right.
And I really enjoy that aspect.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is as bad as Blackface.
Is it? Is it? I mean, it's... You know what's kind of funny?
What?
Is some people think it's normal. Like, for example, this scene right here.
How do you mean normal?
Old Navy, that is a callback to our Meet Dave episode. This movie was made around the same time, so it could be logical reference. So these people think, it's normal. He's just one of... Not to... I was going to say one of us, but... Yeah, and some people think it looks absolutely crazy. So there's like two perspectives on what he looks like.
Oh my god, it's his estranged person.
That he annulled a marriage with. Remember, guys, it wasn't a divorce, it was an annulment. It's not a let's end this, it's a that didn't count.
Please, the appropriate terminology.
Oh, I thought you were going to correct me.
She called him Tan, get it? Because
Tan Dan.
Tan the Dan. Dan the man, liver tan.
Should we call our Dan Tan Dan?
I'm going to call him Dan Tan. Downtown. Downtown Dan. That sounds like a movie
That got
character.
confusing because I said Man Tan Dan. Our Man Tan Dan.
We are outmanned.
Man Tan Dan.
Outplanned.
I've actually seen this moment before. I think it was on TV not too long ago.
I thought you meant in real life, like you've done this. You've been Robin Williams.
Look, I don't mind a bit of a tan every now and again.
Yeah. How about a lot of a tan like he's got?
Yeah, he does kind of look like he's been down in the mines or something.
Yeah. In Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, he looks very cooked, like we could eat him.
Indeed.
Deep fried.
So I like how he brings this up, and it just never really comes back again. Like, what were you going to say?
Oh, it's just like, she's gone to jail for 2 weeks. So, wow, that's awful.
Yeah, it didn't really look like she was going there. So when she brought it up, and she's bringing up all this stuff about how she has destroyed something legally and is going to jail, but it just comes out of nowhere, and I feel like that's really unique. Like, you don't really see what she does in the prison. You don't see the other repercussions that it has, and it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a law.
I am indeed a law. One of several.
If you were to destroy something like that, do you think 2 weeks?
I'm pretty sure she just chained herself to a bulldozer. That's, well, she said it was trespassing, so...
Oh, that's right, it's trespassing.
But even so, 2 weeks jail seems excessive. Like, what about a fine or an interim order or something? I mean...
Well, she's a single mum, so maybe that...
Why can't she get... Yeah, well, if she's a single mother, then that should sway with the court or the jury. Mind you, it may not have gone to court. Might have just gone to a magistrate.
Yeah.
With this woman, are her eyes like meant to be like that, or?
When I was doing some reading up on this movie, that she was described as cross-eyed, so I guess
It might be a theme.
Oh god, kids.
Cross-eyed.
Yep. So the little girl, as we've established before, is John Travolta's daughter, whose middle name I can't pronounce.
Bleh. Okay, she looks a little less. No. In that first, I don't know anymore.
Luke, what is your thoughts on the hand model, friend?
Well, she's gorgeous, but
Boobs.
personally, thanks, Dan. I didn't want to say it, but thank you for.
I didn't hear what he said, so I'll let it off.
But personally, I think the I presume it's iced tea. The iced tea on the table looks really nice. Does anyone else think that?
Oh, I'd have to have another.
Is that on
There we
color?
go. Yeah,
Or-
see, that looks like iced tea.
It looks like apple juice.
I don't know. You don't have apple juice with your old flame.
Yeah, but see, I don't drink, so whenever I see a golden drink, I always just call it apple juice to make everyone think I'm cute.
Ah.
And now the secret's out, guys. I'm very cute.
Was pretty cute.
So what would happen if you were to meet up with an old flame of yours and she said, "You're a father"?
I'd say probably something unintelligible, then jump out the nearest window.
So that you can get closer to where the kids are.
Well, mostly just to collect myself, because after something like that, you just want some alone time. And then you'll come back and deal with your problems, or alternatively, you'll just go to Mexico.
So you find out you're a father, and then you want some alone time. You sick bastard.
Shut the fuck up. Here we are at the fair. This is the movie.
So
It's just the same day, but she's in the same dress.
Did
yeah,
they
this
get
is-
straight from the restaurant to here? This is a bit of an escalation.
they did establish that she knows how to remove tan, so they had to do that first.
Ooh, chicken nuggets.
Oh no, it gives me diarrhea.
So I feel like, and this is where I really wish I had Ryan to talk this about, because like I said before, we compare it to previous episodes. I would like to talk a little bit about these child actors in comparison to other child actors we've had seen in movies on this show. Probably the most recent one that I can think of that had child actors, apart from like the Shaggy Dog, would be Dickie Roberts' former child star, in which a former child star who's, you know, kind of like a Hollywood mess kind of person.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie by any chance?
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay. He didn't have a real childhood, so to speak. So he moves in with a family and, you know, asks to be treated like a child so that he can learn more about what a real family is, so that he can method act in a job better, a role. And the family has a young son and a young daughter who are both a lot more, I guess, not as they're not 7 like these kids are supposed to be, but they seem like they're more well-written characters, because you know, they have personalities, and even while if their acting is sometimes a bit awkward, like one of them has a whole rap scene because like the director thought it was really cute, and she has a dance scene, and there's a tryout, and the son, the brother, her older brother, is a little bit awkward and bullied and stuff like that, and he gets a real...
Oh my god! She really is cross-eyed.
Yeah, and he develops his relationship with Dickie Roberts from starting off calling him stranger danger to him getting advice about how to talk to girls and stuff like that, and it's a lot more involved. Whereas in this movie, it kind of does it a bit differently, in that you mostly just see it from the adults talking to adults perspective, and then putting what they discuss into action and seeing how that goes.
Yeah, so far, like, oh my goodness. Oh, she's the hand model. Oh, your life is over.
Yeah, I like how they don't ever come back to it, like saying that if her career actually is over or not. So it's kind of like a mystery.
Right? She's freaking destitute by now.
Or maybe they decided that like her career isn't over, but they couldn't really find an interesting scene to establish that.
Oh yeah, your life is falling apart.
Yes, but when he in this scene, he's going to tell her that, yeah, I will look after the kids, even though the circumstances of his life really doesn't give him enough time to do that.
Yeah.
And she immediately cheers up.
Well, it's Robin Williams, you know, with that what's the word? A nice smile telling you everything's going to be alright.
Yes.
See, look, everything is happy.
His characters are always very cheerful. Like in Aladdin when he played the Ganai.
Yeah.
Genie in Aladdin?
Yes.
Or Adrian Cronau in Good Morning Vietnam.
Or War Guy from Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
Roosevelt.
Teddy.
Genie in Aladdin 2?
Ugh.
Was that not Dazzin Castellano?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was, yeah.
What? The cast?
No,
Genie is played by Robin Williams in some roles and Dan Castellaneta, who voiced Homer in some roles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, like, the other month I played Kingdom Hearts for the first time, and I was like, oh, it's Homer. Because he sounded a bit like Homer.
You know what's funny? John Travolta just said something is 90 minutes long. Well, that's about as long as this movie is, so is that like a meta thing, or... Hey, we're on Planet Dan. Dan, how do you feel about that, Dan?
Oh, I've got my tan, so...
Yeah, Downtown Dan, getting the tan. He the man.
I think the audience should
Eat
know
some
that
flan.
Dan's skin is, in fact, darker than us, so he is the most closest to tanned.
Yeah, I'm really glad Dan's here, because now we have a more diverse cast.
Well, yeah, multicultural, even
Exactly.
though... Well,
Yeah.
Well, we had... Yeah, thanks for coming, Dan.
You're full Australian, aren't you, Luke?
Yeah, I was raised on the blood of kangaroos and wombats.
That was... if you listen to our Kangaroo Jack episode, that's like the gag of the episode.
Yeah, they're not from here and I am from there.
Oh no, we've just gotten real about our show.
Have you ever been to a casino? This reminds... Have you guys seen Flying High?
Yeah.
You know when the pilot just keeps asking the kid all those weird questions?
Yes.
I get the feeling that's the way they could have gone with this.
What was that one question you asked? Like, have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
You ever been inside a Turkish prison?
Jesus.
Jimmy.
I don't even know what that means.
You like movies about gladiators?
I really like John Travolta in this scene because he's like establishing how bad he is with kids. But then later on there's a scene where he just straight up knows exactly how to fix Dan's relationship with his daughter.
Yeah, which is weird, because where is he getting that from?
I think it might be hinting like he's good with women or something like that.
Well,
or girls,
we have already seen that, but it's like...
But yeah, it really feels like it comes out of nowhere. And, you know, we could say that it's bad writing, but I think it's hidden depth.
Maybe.
Hidden depths.
It could go either way.
Yes. One could almost say that it is like this movie is multi-layered.
It, without wishing to disparage, it seems so far that this lady's character's role is to get hysterical about things.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, she and Robin Williams from... Actually, that whole thing has kind of ended now, but, like, they have a really awkward kind of relationship. Like, she feels like almost like a helicopter mum, a paranoid mum. Like, that, and that's, like, sort of unhealthy for kids. But, I mean, from this point onwards, she is kind of calmer.
Yeah.
Like, once she's in prison and she gets out, it's like, oh, now the only sad thing is that, well, Robin Williams' job thing happening.
Kids, let's kick this off with some healthy choices. Yeah, right.
You don't like healthy food?
No, I'm just saying it's not going to work because this is a movie and it has kids in it.
Yeah. I mean, Robin Williams... No, sorry. The one that isn't Robin Williams, John Travolta.
JT.
He starts off by even saying, like, oh, who wants ice cream pancakes?
Ugh.
Oh, and this is when the old man humor starts.
Oh, good. The best kind. Oh, my God. He actually said that.
What did he say? I missed
I
it.
didn't know they hired supermodels here.
Classic.
I say that to Dan all the time.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if we're not in the establishment that he's working at.
Wow. Seriously, I need to go find this place and introduce myself as a grandparent because I get the royal treatment.
I'll invite my sister to come to Australia and I'll say that you're her grandparent.
Thanks. Oh, God, this is actually happening. Seniors.
That's not how the song goes.
I know, I just hate it so much.
I actually don't know what the name of the tune is because it is an established one. It's like da 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 da. I mean, that's a yeah.
Oh,
because like the old men, they can't control their bladders. You get it?
you are now sexually dead.
I do like how they're not like laughing at him. They're very sympathetic.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I think he'd rather
Especially
be
this guy.
like, oh, dude, I don't want to know about your pump. This is a fucked up building, can I just say? It looks like a piece of foil.
It looks like it should be in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's like a Deakin building, man.
Yeah.
It does.
Good old Dix.
Deakin University Burwood in Melbourne has a building that looks like a cheese grater.
And there's this new building that looks like a big block of cheese.
Yeah,
So, clearly...
admittedly, it's not a tall vertical silver tower, but the windows have these kind of outcropping things that look like they'd be sharp.
I wonder why these kids are such assholes.
It is because they are 7.
Okay, oh my god, this guy... You know how there's like a drinking game for each movie? Every time John Travolta's character says something cheesy, you take a shot.
But the thing is, every time he says something cheesy, it works. So you have to give him credit.
Oh,
Like, spoiler, he's about to be invited to a party.
oh my god, spoilers, man. Fraternal twins.
I do like the whole fact that he has to play the uncle. Because their relationship is so strong that he has to be involved.
Yep. Like, he has casually invited himself to this whole endeavor.
Oh, no, Robin Williams kind of twisted his arms to bring him in there. Like, he's like, I'm not good with kids. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be a father and you are going to be Uncle Charlie. And he's like, what? Yes, in fact, we are.
And now he regrets
And there's the scene coming up not too long where, in fact, it's this scene right here where the place where Dan lives is adults only.
Oh.
So he doesn't have anywhere to go, and he kind of has to emotionally convince Charlie to let him stay at his place, and it's actually a pretty powerful scene in terms of the whole aspect of friendship, which at the end of our Kangaroo Jack episode, we talked about how that movie, spectacular as it was, the main standout thing was the whole aspect of their friendship being so strong. And this movie, I reckon, also does that very well. Especially with scenes like that.
He made an immigrant's joke.
He did, yes. Topical.
Oh, wow, this place is like a prison.
Oh yeah, siren whales.
Oh my god, they're just kids.
I know, it's crazy. It's like you haven't seen this movie.
Do these kids ever stop running?
Well, think about it. When you were 7, were you bored at stuff sometimes?
I knew when to stop running.
Look, they stopped running when they got to the dog.
No doubt that, well, they're probably going to torture the poor dog.
I mean, they're not savages. They just like running.
This is my crib, man. Oh god,
He's a cool
He's
dad.
he's a strong dad.
He needs to be a dad.
Yeah, have you not seen his... Ooh, Dan, you're going to be very happy with the ending then. Have you not seen his apartment? He's got like all this crazy Japanese stuff around.
I know, but it's like... Just the little movements he was doing just then was...
Do you reckon
cringe.
Do you reckon he's always liked all that Japanese stuff, or do you reckon that it started when he... Sorry, he's making me laugh because he's very funny. When it started when he's starting the business deal to Japanese people?
That's a good question. Possibly it started as soon as he started talking to that Japanese translator woman. Who knows? Maybe he's quick on his feet like that.
Yeah, this is the scene where Robin Williams does his emotional thing that he always does.
Aw, thanks, bro. You're the best. Hey, Dan? I like the way that you are. Your smile brightens the room.
Okay, I was just going to say, has he smiled yet? That's how he usually reels him in.
Brett Dennen is going to make you crazy.
What?
Nothing. I was but reading the subtitles, which on this show is forbidden. Isn't it, Bartek?
Reading subtitles?
Yeah.
Well, it happens all the time anyway, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, here we go. She's calling... Oh, my God. She's calling from the prison. Oh, and look in the background. There's a much meaner looking inmate.
Much butcher.
Mucho butcher.
She's probably really good at Play-Doh.
I was expecting the orange uniforms, but I don't know anymore. Because orange is the new black. They got this beige thing going on, and in this movie they got light blue.
Orange, and she was wearing a blue one, right?
Yeah, it was like a
orange
light blue.
and blue are complementary colors. They're on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Interesting.
I wonder if that says anything about the attitude this movie has towards inmates.
Guess we'll find out.
I guess in this movie, blue is the white.
Honestly, with this film, I would love to just see the whole thing again, just from the mother's perspective. I want to know what her time in prison was like. Did she learn anything?
Yeah, I did mention, like, from the scene where John Travolta tells them, have you seen Casino and all that onwards, her role is much lesser. Like, she appears in, I think, 1 or 2 more phone calls, and then after she comes out, she's in generally the rest of the movie, which isn't too long. I like this scene because they're looking in one direction while talking to each other.
Yeah, who does that?
Well, technically the three of us are doing it right now, but I'll ignore that and just say it like lets you look at them from the front. Like the other day, I saw the movie that's been nominated for Best Foreign Picture at the Oscars, which, from our recording time, we will watch it tomorrow, but when this episode goes up, the Oscar will be over, so we'll see if it wins or not. Son of Saul.
Yeah.
And that movie is filmed almost entirely in close-ups of the main character's like head and upper body. So it's very hard. So it's very hard to tell the surroundings of what is going on in that movie. But this movie, I don't know if it looked into the future and saw Son of Saul, but it realized you can see a lot more if you don't show a close-up of someone's head the whole time, and
Yeah.
you get to see more.
Especially John Travolta's head.
So there are movies right now, even if they're not Hollywood movies, because this movie's Hungarian.
Oh my god, is that Dax Shepard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dax Shepard and Luiz Guzman.
Oh my god, this movie just got a hell of a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, you've
recognize
seen
them.
it, so you
yeah,
know.
no, that's just, I didn't recognize them last time because I was half asleep when I was watching it.
I recognise Luiz Guzman, but mainly because he stands out a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since he was in that Community episode.
Oh, I've only seen the first 9 episodes, so I don't know.
So how did Robin Williams get rid of his tan?
Yeah, we never. It's only been like 2 days, hasn't
Weren't
it?
you guys listening? Vicky said that she's very good at removing tan, and then when it cut to the carnival scene, then he was white. I even mentioned it. You guys are very good. I like you guys a lot.
I like the way that you are.
But the method, that's what I'm...
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery. But I think that brings up a good method of discussion, because...
Does anyone else think that Dax Shepard and Sam Rockwell could be twins? Or brothers?
I don't know, man. I'm not too familiar with either one.
If Ryan was here.
And Daniel's not saying a word, so you're alone in this.
Awkward. Hey, Luiz Guzman is talking, please.
Yes. His gag
He's just helping
his
him.
gag in this movie is that he can't keep his hands off things that don't belong to him.
That's actually not a bad character trait to have. Like, if you just wanted to write a script about anything and you need to give a character, like, a thing to do, that's not a bad thing to have.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, you can see in the background now that he's opening the fridge.
Yeah.
And it's, it's not really focused on, you can't even see him, but I appreciate the fact that it does happen. Oh,
Yeah.
well, now it focuses on it.
You don't put it back.
Yeah, but,
Louis.
but you're happy
He'll
with
pick it up again.
You better. Yeah. But you promised. Oh God, kids.
So when I first watched this movie, I reckon from this scene onwards, the comedy really hits its high.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I mean, you've seen it before, but Like, look at this guy here, this camp counselor guy. His acting is superb.
Is he camp or is he... Wait, where have I seen you before? I know you. Where have I seen you before?
Has it been a long time since you've seen him?
No, he looks kind of recent.
Does he have a really awesome voice? Like...
Oh my god, is that... It's fucking Kylo Ren. Oh my god.
Yeah, this guy, he's talking very much with, like, pride. He's like, right here, on this very campsite. He's one of the more exaggerated characters in the movie because he's so proud of his grandfather.
No, wait, that's not Kylo Ren. God damn it. That's Justin Long.
Yeah.
God damn, I thought it was Adam Driver for a second. God, I got so excited.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Because it looked a bit like Kylo Ren.
Yeah, so this guy's gag throughout this scene is that he thinks that John Travolta stole his girlfriend.
That's a weird fixation to have. Like, do you ever just look at someone and decide to hate them on sight just because they might be a person that you maybe knew once?
Well, they might be someone who stole someone you really cared for once.
Well, you know what they say. You can't steal someone unless they want to go.
So, you probably know this maybe because you've seen the episode of South Park or something, but have you heard that the American Scouts, some of them have a sort of disaffinity with homosexuals?
Yeah, they, in fact, I've heard the Girl Guides are far more inclusive.
The girl what?
Wait, sorry, the Girl Guides are what we call them here. Do they have an equivalent over there in America?
Girl Scouts? Yeah, they sell cookies, right?
Yeah. I think the Girl Scouts are more inclusive from what I've heard.
Well, technically, this is unisex because the daughter's in it. But
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, that's true. This is...
Yeah, I didn't think of that until just now because I remembered, oh wait, they wouldn't just ditch John Travolta's daughter.
Oof. I gotta say, Justin Long playing the crazed, vengeful type is weird, because I just remember him from Dodgeball when a stiff breeze would blow him over, so...
Once again, we've got the whole grandpa thing going. But
Wow, what an original...
the reason I brought up the homosexual thing is because this scene is very funny.
Has it come up yet? Like, with the two dudes?
It's happening right now.
Right. It comes again later too, doesn't it? At a game.
Yeah, grandparents thing happening.
Okay.
I always love it when they're scripted to talk in a way that really complements the misunderstanding. And this scene
I
is,
love when that happens.
This scene is a textbook example
There
of
must
it.
be a trope namer for that, you know, when a person, you know, people or a person keeps propagating the misunderstanding unknowingly, you know, like the stuff they're saying, oh, we've been together for 30 years, feels like 50.
I'm sure, but yeah, that scene kind of stands out. It's the part where they're really like buddying in their own world.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see.
You ladies ready to play a little ultimate frisbee?
This scene calls him Mr. Testosterone.
That was close. That could have been Mr. Testicles, and this would not be a kid for movies. I mean, a movie
Yes,
for
we
kids.
can't teach them biology.
No. Just this morning, my dad found a pack of condoms in my room, and he said, "Put those away," because he doesn't want anyone seeing them.
What, did you have it on display?
No, that's just it. He had to like kind of hunt for them a bit, and I just said, "Why were you looking for them? Why were you?"
Have you
in
ever
there?"
seen the Mel Brooks movie To Be or Not to Be?
No.
It's a movie where he makes fun of Nazis, and in it he makes a play sort of like The Producers, but it's very brief near the beginning, called
Yeah.
Naughty Nazis, which is very much like
Time for Hitler.
It's very much like Springtime for Hitler, and there's a gag where two Nazis are looking in a newspaper saying, "Have you seen what they said about the Führer?" It's like, "We can't let him see this. I will hide this where he'll never find it." So he like lifts up a pot, puts it in the pot plant, and puts it down. And then
So-
a minute later, Hitler comes in and it's like, "Have you seen what they wrote about me?" He picks up the plant, takes out the paper, and puts it back down.
This is this is what you call a pump up scene. And here we go.
Yeah, in this scene, they're doing incredibly well. I mean, they're not just old men; they have
Nope.
talents.
Look at them. Oh my god, look at them go.
Do you know the music that's playing?
I'm
I think
sorry.
it was Chariots of Fire by someone.
I think it was called Chariots of Fire, yeah. So, this scene takes a very dark, not dark, but very dramatic turn.
Let it never be said we're accused of casual racism.
Yeah,
Oh, Kylo Ren's down.
yeah. Yeah, Dan, you might not know where this scene is going, but... And granted, it's not like too out of this world, but the tone changes a lot.
He looks like a zombie.
Alright, here it comes.
What the hell is this man saying?
He's still traumatized.
You know
Prison rules.
I think Justin Long was high for most of this movie.
I reckon he was just a really good actor for all of this movie.
Okay, in case you didn't get it last time, the music is now "Hate to Say I Told You So" by The Hives. Oh!
Yeah, this is to bring up South Park.
Holy shit.
To bring up South Park again, it kind of reminds me of the episode where Stan is coaching kids in hockey, and then they have to play against like a major team, and they get pummeled.
Watching this without comedic
Oh my-
music is kind of
It's...
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the music. I don't recall it being that comedic.
Like, the thing is, like, the people on the other team that are not like Justin Long or the scout troop leader dude, they must be like insanely athletic.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to get like shit on for what they just did, but no, let's just go shooting.
Oh my god, he's actually firing from the hip. And he's hitting them!
Mm-hmm. So, this scene, naturally something funny happens, and it can be seen as sort of a bad thing, but...
Let me guess, someone gets shot in the balls.
Or the butt.
Oh, Luke, I like it when you pretend you haven't seen this movie. But no, that isn't what happens. But what does happen, it's a bad thing, but I sort of think that, given what just happened in the previous scene, they kind of deserve it. This dearest grandfather's head.
The desecration of our idols is the first step to degradation.
Yeah, and it's muted now, but Justin Long gives a very nice no.
Ah,
That, to bring
damn.
Star Wars again, kind
Yeah.
of puts Darth Vader to shame.
Yeah, Kylo Ren is just... Oh, thank God we have left.
Damn, Luke.
the woods.
You do know that they kill people who give spoilers, right?
Yeah.
To that movie?
Yeah, but only in America. This is Australia, man.
Yeah, fair enough. The movie's been out for almost 3 months. No, not really. It's been out for 2 months. Sciatica. I've had sciatica. It's not pleasant.
Bartek has had many injuries.
Yes, when I was very injured, I did a show that was very much like Springtime for Hitler.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
As we can see, things got from bad to worse.
I searched this film on YouTube, and this was one of the scenes that came up. Well, the pill one. I'm assuming it's coming up now.
Yeah, this is this scene, and they have a very long discussion about it, and I thought it was just kind of like old men talking about this,
Yeah.
but no, it actually does establish what all the pills are for a gag. So you can know that they're not just saying, oh, this makes you lose
Yeah.
depth perception for no reason. It's so that you can see it in action later and understand.
They used the words aging prostate.
Yes, it's old man humour.
Can't wait till I'm an old man so I can talk about my aging prostate.
You are an old man, you're 22, man.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm 22.
How old are you, Dan?
I'm 22.
Ah,
Dan's a kid. He's wearing...
between all of us,
He's
we've
wear-
lived 66 years of life.
I would just like to establish for everyone that Dan is wearing a Pokemon cap right now, filled with Gen 1 Pokemon.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty great.
There are some Gen 2. I believe.
Are there? I'm
Gen
so
2
sorry.
Penguin?
Oh, you're right. There's a Togepi, and there's the monkey from a generation I haven't played.
Oh, is it that
Fair
weird
enough.
monkey with the hand on its tail?
No, that's from Gen 2. Apom. No,
Oh,
it's like a
you said
red
Apom,
one. It's here behind Pikachu.
Oh, that thing.
Oh, look, the dog's wearing a crown.
As he should.
Do you like it when people dress up animals?
Depends. Are we talking lipstick on a pig or like little booties on a dog?
I was thinking more like giving them a shirt,
No.
a really tight shirt.
That reminds me of this this debate that's been taking place lately. Like, if you were to give pants to a dog, do you put them on the front or the back?
Yeah, like, do you make it for all 4 legs,
Yeah.
even though they're very long, or like just the back 2 legs?
Good question.
No, if they were standing upright, it'd be the back 2.
Yeah. If they stood upright, then
So I guess this movie,
would be theirs.
when they showed the dog just there wearing just a crown, it was, I guess, sort of giving its take on the whole dressing animals up, because I certainly know some people that get really upset when they see, dogs wearing full-on costumes.
Yeah.
And not to bring up the, lipstick on a pig thing, which is very much an issue for the fashion industry or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
makeup industry. But, like, I guess they're saying, don't make it so elaborate that it, like, ruins what the animal is. Just give them a crown. You can
Yeah,
take it off
see?
easily. It doesn't, like, constrict them or anything. It doesn't make them look less like what they are. Just give them something cute that's easy to take on and off, and it's perfect.
You can't say they didn't care in this movie.
There's a sort of pseudo-gay joke at the end of this scene that made me laugh a lot.
Gotta love them pseudo-gay
It's
jokes.
not offensive. It's a
cheeky...
It's this right here.
Ah.
What am I doing there, guys?
That's a lovely bathtub in the background.
I actually really enjoy a couple of these cinematic moments coming up with the depth perception.
I'd like to point out, like that was stated earlier, that this entire golf game, the Japanese businessman Nishimura, John Travolta's character says he sees this game as a metaphor for life. So if you know, oh my goodness, if you're no good with that, then like you've failed in his eyes. Does anyone find that odd, or is that just a cultural quirk I'm not aware of?
I have heard that some people who are very serious golfers do take golf to that level of seriousness. But obviously, the three of us. Well, I'm sorry. I'm assuming. Dan, do you play golf?
I've played Mario Golf in my time, but
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I've played a real game of golf literally once, apart from video games, and God, to get 100% GTA 5, you had to win a game of golf, and that was hell for me. But regardless of that, yeah, some people do take golf that seriously, but there are people that take a lot of things seriously, like, drinking, golf, being good at Street Fighter or something.
Collecting nickels.
So, yeah,
I love that.
I do like, in this scene,
is terrific.
it, like, established, because John Travolta, he's getting it probably a bit worse than Robin Williams is getting. Half the things, well, not half, maybe like just under half the things Robin Williams does really kind of benefit him in this scene. Like, Nishimura's really impressed by some things he does.
It's that weird thing where the bad thing is not so bad.
So, like, yeah, you're saying this guy's really strict, and if you screw up, it's over. But Nishimura, he's, like, really sort of pleasant in this scene.
I am very sure that, like, Travolta was his character. God, I need to learn the characters' names.
Charlie is Travolta.
Charlie just heard this from someone. He doesn't actually have first-hand proof that Nishimura is, you know, a real hard-ass.
Oh, I believe him about it. Because Nishimura does mention a few things that Ron Williams does, that, like, he focuses a lot and stuff like that. And he, like, at one point he offers him his golf club. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
Like, later on in the film, there's, like, a scene where Nishimura is kind of unimpressed with them, and I almost felt like that was out of character for him, given how friendly he is in this scene.
Well, consider when we first saw him, they were all stone-faced. First time watching it, I honestly thought, they're not going to laugh at all, but then they did laugh. And it was weird.
Yeah, I really like the Japanese businessmen in this movie because
oh dear.
They're not the stereotype as much as you'd think they are. So I think this is one of the last scenes where Seth, who by the way hasn't appeared much so far, one of the last scenes where he's kind of his serious side.
The serious side of Seth.
Nishimura's making some funny faces. The serious side of Seth?
Yeah. It's like the dark side of the moon. Can be a first album.
What, have you seen Scooby-Doo 2?
Yeah.
He's very intense in that movie.
Yeah. Oh god. That's some CGI.
Yeah, Jesus.
That has to be. CGI, Jesus Christ.
CGI, Jesus Christ. Do you reckon Cuba Gooding Jr. wouldn't need CGI for this?
Oh hell no, he's a natural born
face.
Yeah. Oh man, I hit that cush way too hard. Yeah, he did hit that cush way too hard.
Yeah, and then Seth Green has to kind of coax him into like, hey, I just did something crazy. Don't screw it up for me.
What kind of hat is that? Is that...
That's a hat, indeed.
I'm guessing Seth's character is still in the serious mode, because like, he spent $3,000 on a kimono.
I guess you'd call it a sort of golfing cap. I can't really see too many people wearing it outside.
Oh!
So
he actually looks kind of happy.
Yeah, so maybe this incident right here might kind of like maybe trigger him going crazier.
Yeah, do you think
not crazier, but his other character.
Dan-san, would you like to use my club?
Oh, very much similar to the Karate Kid, where Daniel is called Daniel-san. And Ryan kind of laughed when I called him Daniel-san in the Forever episode ago.
Hey Dan, did your dad call you Dan-san?
No, but he should.
Yeah.
You should watch Karate...
Mr. Visser,
you should just keep watching Karate Kid with him, hearing him call the guy Daniel-san, and like every time he does it, just look at him like, yeah,
please.
Yeah. Dad, I wanna be Japanese.
Ooh.
I wear the Pokemon cap, I watch this movie with you, just come on. So,
after 9 months of excruciating pain, I have finally given birth.
Okay, so let's not, make jokes about this. Luke, if you were to hit on a girl... and she invited you to a party, what would you think when you found out it was a bereavement party?
That there'd been a terrible misunderstanding, and that I really hope my face wouldn't look like that at the time.
But
you're like the Joker.
But
right
Luke,
now.
she thinks you're really charming, so she takes you to a bereavement party.
Bereavement party. Yeah.
Do you think that'll be like a hint of some sort, or do you reckon that'll be like, I trust you, or what do you think?
Well, trust, yeah, sure, maybe a possibility of something more. But if there was a possibility, I wouldn't be acting on it at a fucking bereavement party. That's just bad taste. If it was a golf course, then hey, maybe.
Yeah.
Grazie, prego, scusi.
What does that mean, Luke? You're Italian.
It means thank you, you're welcome, excuse me.
Oh, that's a very awkward conversation.
Yeah, that's like all you need.
I like that gag because Rob Williams' eyes were closed.
Christ, I can't wait till the pills wear off.
You know what that kind of reminded me of?
What?
Have you ever seen the movie Flying High? The drinking problem.
Yeah.
Dan, have you ever seen Flying High?
I haven't.
Have you seen, what's that other movie? The Naked Gun?
No.
Dan, you got some good movies ahead of you.
Leslie
you
Nielsen is dead, and he needs your time.
He needs you to watch his movies. We've done a Leslie Nielsen movie on this show. We did Surf Ninjas with Sam Noonan. That was a good episode because it was fun. Unlike this episode, which is also very fun, so therefore it is like it. Oh, this scene has a sad moment.
Fax machine.
His little gaming system.
Like I mentioned before, that the kids are sort of more shallowly written than other movies, but not to discredit it. It's to say that it gives a more focus on the adult perspective. But this scene right here, where he gets really sad and walks away.
Okay, I'm sorry, kid, but you've been nothing but an asshole since you got here, and he didn't want to have kids in the first place, so grow up.
But he's 7, Luke.
I know. I'm out of line.
And he just wanted to have fun.
Okay.
Also, he calls a bike a two-wheeler. Like, I didn't know what that was going with. He could have just written bike, right? Do people call bicycles two-wheelers?
Well, in America, they have wieners, Twinkies, trunks. Lots of weird words for stuff we have.
Don't we use trunks?
No, we have a boot. Put it in the boot. They say trunk.
No, but I meant trunks and... Oh!
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, like, what you wear.
Nah. Oh, well, actually, that is the thing. They call them swimming trunks, and we call them bathers. Or whatever.
I feel like we use both. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
boot, as in...
As
Like, because I was thinking of the
boot.
wearing thing, and you're like wearing
Well,
boots.
no,
I'm like,
telling you, it's
what?
both.
I don't,
I'm
no
telling
one
you.
calls shoes trunks. That's what I was thinking.
Cheerios, Pop-Tarts. They got some weird food.
Craziness. Look at them. Oh, is this the scene?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, that was the scene we were talking about earlier, where he
Jimmy
he
Lunchbox.
suddenly knows what to do. Oh, and
This looks like Tim Burton had a hand in the development.
yeah, this was meant to be a little bit creepy. Oh, one thing that made me kind of I take back what I said about Seth Green, the golf thing hitting him, because in this scene he's very like straight faced.
Ah, maybe he's still
Yeah, look, there he is.
sleeping off the nutsack attack.
I'm rather confused about what's going on right now.
Is this a kid show or isn't it?
Yeah, Charlie takes him to meet this guy whose name is Jimmy Lunchbox.
Jimmy Mack, apparently.
Yeah, because the actor's name.
There's no relation to Bernie Mac, though.
Yeah, he's
Am I right?
he's Bernie Mac.
No,
but for some
Bartek.
reason he mixed up Jimmy Lunchbox and Bernie Mac, so he calls him Jimmy Mac. Now, Bernie Mac is one of the people this movie is dedicated to the memory of,
he
because
sadly passed away.
he died before the movie was released. Actually, the movie was delayed 3 times. The first was when John Travolta's oldest son died, Jet Travolta. The second was when Bernie Mac died. And the third was when Robin Williams needed some quick emergency surgery of some sort. So this movie was released almost a year after it was originally intended to be released. So there's a fair bit of tragedy behind the post-production of this movie.
Which is a shame because it was so badly received. But those people are liars.
Yeah. With the IMDb reviews at the end of this episode, there were a lot more negative ones than other movies we've done.
Idiots. Why are people such idiots?
I found a good balance though, and I've picked the perfect one to end it on.
Okay, now we've got more puerile humour, courtesy of sticking that thing down
Did you
your
notice?
pants.
Did you notice how behind him in that scene was this king costume?
Yeah, and now King George III is sitting across from us.
What did King George III do?
Tried to quell the American Revolution and failed miserably.
Oh, well, what was a king doing in America?
Nothing good, I'm sure.
So I'm also confused about what's going on now.
Now he's having a tea party.
So Jimmy Lunchbox has got a prototype human puppet thing where one person wears the thing that gets controlled and the other person wears the controller. So John Travolta is doing, what's his face? Actions. Robin Williams' actions.
This is kind of creepy. It's like,
What, the poo-poo flavor or the
No.
fact that he's controlled?
yeah, that. It's just, what if someone used it for evil?
Well, I mean, they'd have to put on the thing first. It's not like it's mind control or anything.
Laugh, puppet, laugh. Oh, now
Although
it's like he's having a seizure.
Although this is sort of getting to torture territory because they are pressing a button to make him laugh.
Yeah, like, is it possible for the wearer to disconnect in any way?
Dude,
Like, this
it's like-
technology sounds unsafe.
This is like if Jim Carrey went crazy, died, and then possessed. All this.
Oh, shit. Here, the kid
This
is
is
going to get
another.
into some
This is
trouble.
another reason to love the Japanese businessman. Which, by the way, they switch between speaking English and Japanese amongst themselves throughout this movie.
Let us begin. Oh, Robin.
He's wearing funny shoes.
Yeah, it's like, maybe he's channeling the genie.
Nissan is poop.
He is 7. I'm reminded of that.
Yeah, well, the word poop's used a few times.
Yeah, it's because they can't say shit.
Poo-poo flavor.
Oops, I swore.
Poop. Oh, they used bear scat earlier.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but it was a twist that scat means poop. That was the thing.
Race cars. Why does he keep ending it with an ellipsis?
That's a very good question, Luke. Maybe he keeps forgetting that the full stop, or the period as they call it in America, is not the enter button. But here he learned that last message he didn't use a full stop at all.
Yeah.
But he did start a new line, so he probably had to press shift enter.
This kid is all kinds of inconsistent. Oh no.
Yeah, so he's getting electrocuted a lot.
Wow, vibrating ass.
Yeah, and so what kind of confused me in this scene was that this really upsets the daughter, but I'm just wondering what specifically was it that upset her.
Like this part? Oh, maybe she knows that he was...
I mean, she can't possibly know about the device. She just knows that something was electrocuted. Like, does she think that he's hurt? Does she think that... I don't really know, but it just shows that it's very hard to understand kids sometimes. And even though Robin Williams, he doesn't exactly establish what it was that scared her, he tries to find a compromise with her by putting up... Not putting up, I'm sorry. But he's trying very hard.
Yeah.
I like this dialogue.
Yeah, it's cute.
Mm-hmm. I should probably establish that Dan, much like a lot of our guests, was a drama person along with most of us, so we are very much into speaking words very well. And doing stuff really well. Also known as acting.
Achtung.
Achtung means attention in German.
I thought it meant danger.
No, it means attention.
What does danger mean in German? Do you know?
I don't know, I'm not German.
Right, you're one of them Poles.
It's like when they go, Achtung, it means that they want you to
Achtung,
listen to me. And they yelled it a lot in the Nazi death camps, so... fun.
No, it was a fun treat here on...
It was also in Son of Saul.
Bit and Peverelle. Aww.
No, it's Luke and Peverelle.
Right, yeah,
I mean,
it is.
Luke and Polish.
No,
you confused me.
No take-backs.
I'm Luke and you're Peverelle.
Ugh. Aw, that's a bit cute.
I'm hugging my co-star's daughter.
Speaking as to, like, how she was perceptive as to, like, that he deceived her or something, honestly, I think she is a lot smarter than the other one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a reach.
I don't think she'd say that Nissan is poop to a computer.
Oh, God.
Nissan.
This is boring. I'm leaving now.
Nissan is poop.
Let me ask you something, gents. If you could only have one kid, would you have a son or a daughter?
I reckon daughter.
Me too.
I'd say I'd probably like a son.
Really?
Yeah.
How come? Just cause?
I don't know. They seem cool. It's a generalization.
Strong
yeah,
words.
fair enough.
When you look at
we talked about it beforehand. We want a daughter because they're lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong words. Strong, bewildering words.
What were you saying, Dan? I interrupted you.
I don't know. They just seem. From what I see, like I work in a liquor store and get a few amount of kids coming in. The boys seem like just a more fun, out there personality than.
Well, let's say the obvious. I mean, we're all men, so we understand boys more than girls. I mean, probably by default, I guess. At least the three of us. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe it's because I have two brothers and they annoy me. They have annoyed me since I was a kid. I guess that's just what brothers do. So maybe that's why.
I don't know. I think our lives, we've just been programmed to understand guys more. So it'd be understandable if you want a child of the same gender as you.
Oh my God, Craig-san is moving to Tokyo.
Nishimura's got a nice smile. Seth Green's got a nice excitement.
I've just noticed that John Travolta like towers over Seth Green.
Well, Seth Green's short and John Travolta's tall.
Yeah, how old is John Travolta? I want to know.
John Travolta's just like 3 years younger than Robin Williams.
Yeah, but like, no, I mean he's like 6'5" or something.
Oh, how tall? I don't know
so.
how tall he is. I imagine that he would be taller than average, though.
No.
You know what I found out the other day?
What?
You know Anthony Michael Hall?
Yeah.
Apparently he's like 188 centimeters tall.
Really?
Yeah, so like almost 2 meters. So he's really tall.
Are you sure?
Which is
fun.
fun.
Yeah, your centimeters right.
Yeah, because 100 centimeters is a meter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what, you said 188?
He's like 10 centimeters taller than me. So
I'm thinking of
which
feet
is,
and inches.
Yeah, no. Alright, look, the point is, he was very short in movies like The Breakfast Club. He's giant now.
Yeah. Oh, lucky guy.
Yeah.
I myself am 5'7", and it sucks.
Yeah, I'm about 5'10", 5'11". So I guess we just saw the scene where Craig San got very happy was the scene where his character does a 180.
Oh, I love this. This song is You and Me by Lifehouse, and it's one of the great songs of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Is it good as Pretty Fly Like a White Guy?
No, that's Offspring. Ah, here we are back in the... Look, some of them are wearing red. Yeah. And rocking it, too.
Dude, maybe there's, like, a special prison system, like, gangs, but, like, it's really cool gangs. So there's a sign on the side that says that phone calls cannot exceed 10 minutes. But the fact is sometimes it's not there.
Looks like everything is going to resolve itself just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, Seth Green's going to do something incredibly stupid or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason. So earlier they mentioned that the kids had not seen Friday the 13th Part 1 or Part 2. Which are the 2 movies where Jason does not wear a hockey mask, I believe.
Well, he's wearing it then.
Because in the first movie, he's dead. And in the second movie, I think he's got like a sack on his head instead.
Well, I'm really not sure what Jason's status is, vitally speaking.
Maybe they're like 3 or above is bigger than 1 or 2. So we'll make them watch a higher number movie.
Maybe.
So there's been a recurring gag in the movie where the son, who, as you mentioned before, is very smart, keeps unplugging things to recharge his PSP.
Wow, couldn't you just ask for a plug?
Well, he mentions that he unplugs so many inconvenient things when there are better things he could unplug.
Oh my god.
So they are running late to a conference call. And the kids are... I like how they don't really address that they're making such a big mess.
Yeah, I mean...
At least they're independent.
I'm sorry, but he dotes on these kids. He tries his best. And what do they give him in return? Not a lot.
To be fair, it's not like they're doing it to spite him.
No, but...
they're just
maybe
being
I'm
very,
just not built
very
to be a
stupid.
parent.
So we have Nishimura and Riku.
Is there a reason that Travolta's been wearing black this whole movie?
He's in mourning.
Has Robin Williams been wearing white or brighter colours the whole movie?
He's worn like flowy kind of shirts, I believe.
I guess the answer would have to be that it is a contrasting thing in that they are 2 friends, but they are very different, which makes them unique characters, perhaps. So here we have it. Turns out Craig's actually weird. And he didn't do the job he was really excited that he got.
Yep.
Because he is obsessed with karaoke. And on top of that, they were late.
Ooh,
that's not very good. Nishimura is not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's been very happy throughout this whole movie, and... Oh, boy. So, it brings the conflict to the table that they have to move to Tokyo.
So in conclusion, this is all Seth Green's fault.
Seth Green, you were so normal throughout this movie, almost.
Then you let loose in the worst possible way.
Then you remembered that you like karaoke, and you're in a country where the word is normally said a lot.
Yeah.
Because people like karaoke.
Do you guys like Seth Green as an actor?
Well, I like him very much as a voice actor, because if there are any Mass Effect fans out there, he's the voice of Joker, who is one of the best characters.
We had a discussion in the Scooby-Doo 2 episode about whether we like him or not, and the general consensus was, yeah, we all like Seth Green.
What do you think, Dan?
I don't really agree. I just don't like his face.
Is it because it looks like a mouse?
A weasel.
A weasel, yeah, and it's the red hair.
So, Luke, you said that you like him as a voice actor, so is your, ideal character Chris Griffin?
Funny you should mention that, because actually I freaking hate him as Chris Griffin, but that's because I kind of don't like Family Guy, so
There's
maybe
a monkey in my closet.
Shut up, Bartek.
I liked him in the Austin Powers movies. He didn't seem as short in those.
Maybe he had lifts in his shoes.
Maybe it's because Mike Myers isn't that tall either.
Maybe.
Because Mike Myers played Dr. Evil. I'm sure he played some other character in that movie.
No, did they have found out that he played Austin Powers and Dr. Evil?
And
Fat Bastard
And
and Goldmember.
I flipped out.
With every movie, he does one new character.
What a masterful talent. He also played Shrek, if anyone remembers Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek,
I don't think anyone
Shrek's
will.
the Irish pony from the movie Ice Age.
But I'd just like to touch on the fact that as much as this movie might be about the kids, they've had little or no character development. Like, there's nothing really substantial to them.
Yeah, I've already been talking about that. Remember?
No, I'd like to echo the point and just bring it up now.
Oh,
Yeah,
you've now observed what I was talking about.
yeah, like when I first made that remark, that was earlier on. Now more of the movie has occurred, and yeah, nothing is happening.
Yeah, like I said, it's more like you see it all from the adult perspective, not so much from the kids. So the narrative is very much centered around it's two best friends, but mostly Robin Williams, let's be honest. And
Yeah.
and his best friend Charlie, who's played by Jean Travolta, just to remind everyone because we haven't said that a million times in this episode yet. It is about them. I was going to say coming of age, but they are old dogs.
It's like coming of belated age.
Yeah. Isn't that really weird? It's a movie about people and the whole gag is that they're old, but they... Coming of age isn't really the right word, but they are learning how to be more... Responsible, yeah. More... A different type of adult from what they are.
Away from the Bachelor.
Yeah, so we got, like, you know, the... Not lady killer, but, like, ladies man, and we got the nervous guy. And they're learning how to be... Not maternal, because that's motherly, isn't it? Paternal?
Yeah. Paternal, yeah.
Nuclear.
A fatherly eye.
Nuclear. Oh, yeah, you're right. There is two parents.
Yeah.
A little boy, little girl, and a dog.
And here's a plane. I wonder how
Oh,
long...
shit, you're right. It is a plane.
You know that, like, that classic setup where you got the red carpet leading up to the steps and you have the plane's, like, staff standing in a line next to it.
Mm.
How long do you think they have to stand there? Like, how early do they get there?
If they're extras, they have to wait for the limo to come.
Shut up.
I do like how the carpet was so long and they drove, like, more than halfway down it.
Yeah.
Did that make sense, or should I reword that?
No, that's fine. I wasn't really listening anyway.
Okay, look, it's a long carpet, but they come out, like, near the edge of the plane
Yeah,
anyway,
you're
so they
right,
don't have to
you're
start
right.
from the very end of the carpet.
Well, thank God. This is what I really want to know. They ascend the steps, they get in. Who, like, does someone fold it up and they take it with them, or...
I've mentioned this at the end of a few episodes as a joke, but in the movie Story of Ricky, there is a whole gag about, like, oh, the owner of the prison's coming, quick, roll out the carpet.
Yeah.
Like, just before the limo arrives.
Here we are having a laugh again. A good old laugh.
Yankee ingenuity.
Yankee Doodle Dandy. Oh, God, don't show him the smile, please. I've had enough.
Oh, God.
And it's not as extreme as it was earlier, so yeah, maybe it was, like, Botoxed or CGI'd or something.
Oh, God, I hope it was CGI, not Botox.
I don't know, it was very extreme, joke.
Dying for your art. The American sports market is a minefield.
Yeah, I like how they haven't really seen too much of their job aside from these business meetings. Like, at one point you saw, like, a cardboard cutout of a basketballer behind them, but other than that, not too much.
This part surprises me not at all. When I saw it, I'm just like... Have you seen Daddy Daycare?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like that when he's going through his files and he
Yeah.
finds a picture, his kid drew him, and it's like...
Which, by the way, I think that will be on the show eventually.
Oh, good. Well, that is a classic.
Yeah.
It's got that... Who's the guy that plays opposite Eddie Murphy? It's not Kevin James, but it looks a bit like him.
It's been too long. I don't know, man. But this is the scene where I always thought that Nishimura was almost out of character, because I would have thought that, like, him seeing the... sorry, hold on. Did they see the family video?
No, but they may have heard it. I'm not sure if the audio was on.
I thought that it would be, like, kind of... Oh, this guy's really upset. Like, they'd be really sympathetic towards him. But then when the scene ends, yeah, how could you have tanked up that meeting? Happens.
Does that mean that... never mind.
What?
Doesn't matter. It's probably not important.
Well, you can say it anyway if you want.
No, I already forgot what I was going to say.
Fair enough. You're just going to call me handsome. And Dan, not just me.
Sorry, Bartek. I must not tell lies.
And Daniel Visser.
It's time for the fight scene.
But no, they're in Japan, so they gotta behave.
Yeah. Man-tan.
Yeah, so this is kind of like the typical friendship, not tuffle, kerfuffle.
This is the fastest fight. Like, they're just moving so quickly, but they're still fighting.
Don't you love it when like conversations happen over a long period of time and you just imagine like the between shots?
Yeah, right? Are they like saying anything? Or...
Like in the movie, there's a movie called Garbage Pail Kids, which is really bad. And there's
I've heard of that.
Yeah, there's a part where a girl is driving the little boy main character.
Yeah.
And like the little boy asks her a question, and then it cuts to nighttime, and then she like answers the question. So it's a very bad use of it. Look at this guy.
Oh, look at his face.
His?
Oh, he didn't say anything.
Lazy Pooch Dog Hotel, old dogs.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. A dog hotel. What a lovely place.
So this is a very happy scene because John Travolta's smiling.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they tried to tell him, but they couldn't reach him.
Do you realise that as far as this movie goes, you know that website, didthedogdie.com?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a spoiler.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, well, I've said it a few times, but I'm a cat person, so I've never owned a dog, but my cat is about 13 years old at this point.
Seth Green's back and he's out for penitence, not revenge.
Penitent? Is he even doing anything? He's like just kind of giving an excuse and then hanging up, so
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on there.
Oh my god, that's the best excuse I've ever heard. My birth was premature, so it has fucked me up from the get-go.
Fremont. Remember, guys, it's
backwards. It says
it's foreshadowing. I don't know. Spelt backwards. Tnom Erf.
I find this a really weird scene because it goes to dog reactions.
Yeah, but they don't really.
Well, Dan,
No.
at the end of Snow Dogs, the dogs go to a wedding, and you see their reactions there too. And in that movie, dogs, their facial expressions are CGI so that they wink and smile and stuff. So, you know.
Aren't dog reactions meant to be mostly comedic?
Well, in that movie, it was very dramatic. So, like, what I want to know about this scene is what. It's mostly questions brought up by the fact that Robin Williams has a dog in his hands. Is it his dog? Do they give a dog to everyone so they can have a dog next to themselves
dog
at the
just
funeral?
at the gate.
Because it's not established that Robin Williams owns a dog. So did people just bring their own, and anyone who didn't have one got a dog? Or I mean, this seems to imply that dogs do belong to them, but I don't know. I mean, if we were to be really like tied us, we'd say like, oh well, the people who made this movie hired the dogs. Like, yeah, that's not what we're asking. We're asking about the characters. I had my Year 12 media teacher, who was my favourite teacher in VCE. He did a lot of stuff like that when he asked us, like, where did this newspaper come from? And we were like, oh, the newspaper company? He's like, no, it came from the prop department.
Ah, shit.
Our guest who was on the Meet Dave episode, Reese McKenzie, we very much liked that teacher.
I'll ask about him next time I see Reese.
Oh, we've got endless stories.
Endless story. This is big, Charlie.
Yeah, so we kind of just talked over the whole period of the film where they're having like a fight.
About the lowest point of the movie, we just skipped all that.
Yes, but we talked about fun stuff, I'm sure. I'll listen to the episode back and I'll tell you if
I'm
yes
sure
or no.
the listeners will enjoy it just as much as we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's... During this period, John Travolta discovers that his dog dies, and when his friend comes to cheer him up, it kind of fixes it. So it's almost like the dogs was sacrificed to fix.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, that's so problematic.
Mm.
Is that...
It's like the old dog has passed
indeed.
on so that the old dogs can move on.
Meanwhile, Seth Green is back messing shit up.
Just so we don't miss it, I just want to say he does a fantastic face in this scene, right here.
What?
Yes,
What was that even in... what was that a reaction of? Like
them
was
telling him to shut up.
I know, but it was...
It's like, what are you guys telling me to shut up for?
Yeah.
There's a monkey in my closet.
And this security guard does not care.
Oh, this security guard, he makes a joke about Seth Green.
This guy looks familiar.
Yeah, he's black.
We each had 3 big ones. I thought he was handing $300.
Yeah. I like how hyper Seth Green is now. That like he's scared that they're going to
Shall not pass. That's one of the best lines.
Yeah. So he said to them that you've already got a son, and he pointed at Seth Green, and Seth Green gave a what face.
Danny boy. The funny thing is this scene that comes up. This was prominent in all the ads I saw for the movie.
You mean where they end up?
Yeah. Which is funny. It makes it seem like it's one of those wacky hijinks that happens in the middle of the movie. But it's actually not.
Yes, and this scene has a very significant thing regarding the theme of this month.
Come on, Seth. You gotta use those weenie little arms.
Weenie little arms. Oh, look, it's a unicorn.
Aw.
Oh, they're real.
Holy shit.
Oh, I thought they were...
I knew it this whole time.
I thought they were mythical, but no.
Oh my god.
So you can already tell from their surroundings that, like, you know that they're not where the people are supposed to be. So you're just wondering at this point, okay, what animal are they with? They're that one.
You know what? I read something the other day. It said, you know, it's a silverback gorilla doesn't have access to gym equipment, so we've probably never seen one at full potential. You ever think about that?
No, but now I
Thinking
will.
about it now.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that this is very related to the month, and you're thinking, Bappa, that's not a dog, that's a gorilla. Well, no, it's related to the other theme of this month. The fact that every movie we've done this month had a junior in it. I don't know whether it's a guy in a costume or if it's a guy making the gorilla noises, but the guy that plays the gorilla is a junior. I've forgotten what his name is, but as soon as this movie ends, I promise you, I'm pointing at the microphone, that I will tell you what his name is.
I'm really upset that Seth didn't get hit in the face with that tire.
Well, he already got one nut shot.
Yeah. Are you upset that there isn't a third time's the charm and he gets hit in the nuts once more?
Seth, like, in terms of expressiveness, Seth is giving Cuba Gooding Jr. a run for his money right now. Look at that.
Yeah, but he, like, does the same scream, like, 3 times in this scene.
I know, but it's so funny to watch.
And then he runs away.
Okay, whose enclosure are you in now, buddy?
I really liked this scene for what animal it was and how they react.
Chittering.
Because they do the Hollywood thing of, oh, penguins, I love penguins, everyone loves penguins. And then the penguins are like, we're not lovable.
Are you kidding me, mate?
They're like, mine.
Save yourself. Bartek, just so you know, if that were you and I would tell them to feast on the pole, and so I could make my escape.
Yeah, but they're used to the North Pole or South Pole. They're used to the South Pole, so they'd be like, oh, Italian food.
This
I'd
is
be like,
just
yep.
like that scene. Oh, that's cute. Sort of.
So, you know...
He doesn't look overly scared.
Are you sure? He's yelling help.
Yeah, it's very much played for comedy, so he like screams and sings and hums, and the gorilla really likes him.
What a triple threat.
It's pretty gay, but, you know, it's pretty good.
Remember that, guys. You heard it here first.
That it's pretty gay, or...
I suppose.
Okay. Oh, gay.
Okay, then.
Oh, dude, you see that gumball machine? 20 cents in that, you get a gumball.
Is he going to get to the birthday party? Let's find out.
So, we haven't really mentioned it, but his daughter in this movie said that she thinks of him as she thought of him as a superhero when she learnt that she had a dad, and that's like the reason why he wasn't around. So this is sort of like coming back to that. So hold on, he had money, so why didn't he bribe the guy to let him in instead of John Travolta giving him $3?
Doug the Missile. Why does he have to wear the outfit? Can't he just put the thing on?
Because he wants to be a superhero, not wear a jetpack.
Right, yeah.
The jetpack's like, oh, transport.
Come on, man, you can do it.
Yeah, this reminds me of the good old days where I played San Andreas all the time.
I thought you were about to say the good old days when I would regularly shoot into the air with my backpack rocket.
Well, if I was to, you know, put myself in CJ's shoes, then yes, that's what I was doing in San Andreas. I memorized the code to get the jetpack, and we'll just play the whole game like that. But you could only use submachine guns when you wore it, fun fact. I don't know why, but yeah.
What does that line even mean? I'm the wind beneath your wings. You're on the ground. You are helpless.
Because, I mean, if there was no air, oxygen, how would birds fly? So you are the thing that lifts me up. You are the thing that makes me move.
Seth Green looks oddly like, his spot in that gorilla's arms is kind of like appropriate.
Well, that's... The gorilla seems to think so.
Yeah.
The gorilla doesn't really understand that, like, it's quite non-consensual.
But just as he was about to land...
No, actually. He doesn't really get to the landing part.
No. Crashing.
Yeah, well, it's not like he makes a mistake. It's, yeah.
Can I just say that's the lamest name for a superhero? Father Man.
Hey, dude, if you didn't have a father, Father Man would be awesome.
That mean his nemesis is probably something like Dad Hole.
Dad hole?
Yeah, like asshole, but Dad Hole.
No, it'd be single man villain. Single man.
I hope there's no electricity in that, otherwise he's probably dead.
I can't see it having electricity.
I have to say, this movie has a pretty good soundtrack. Even just this part that he's singing All Out of Love. That's by,
Oh, look at the gorilla.
That's by... Who's that by? Bort?
I don't know, I'm not a music guy.
Dan, who sings All Out of Love?
I know Mercury 4 did a cover.
Well, that'll do.
Why
Yep,
asking
that'll
Dan?
do.
Dan will tell you about the Pokemon theme song.
You know how he's wearing red here? This reminds me of that line of his in Mrs. Doubtfire when he says, I do a great impression of a hot dog. You know?
Does he do a great impression of hot dog?
Oh, yeah. Like, it is actually the thing.
Cool, man. Is it like in Austin Powers, The International Man of Mystery, where Austin Powers does an impression of a man in a nutshell?
No, actually, it's nothing like that.
Oh. I thought, because that scene was really good. Because I believed him, because he said, help, I'm a man in a nutshell. Mike Myers, he's great. We should do a movie with him in it.
But we must conclude this one.
But we can't, because he's in all the great movies. Maybe Shrek 4. Shrek 4 was actually not bad.
I haven't seen that one.
That was the one where they went back in time, right? Was that
That was the one where Shrek was sent to an alternate dimension where he didn't
Yeah.
Fiona, so he got to be
I'm
over again.
I'm pretty sure that was back in time, wasn't it?
It was Shrek Forever After.
Yeah. That was creepy.
Yeah, I was surprised at how good it was, actually. I was like, oh, I thought it'd be bad, but no, it's good.
But where's Charlie? Well, I know where
Where's
Seth
Charlie?
Green is. Alright, it's your chance to escape.
Yes, and he realizes it too. Dude, he looks really scared.
Run.
Ooh. Oh, we're all intense here. Like, Dan's leaning forward. I'm, like, watching.
Oh my god. There's no escape from the Fortress of the Moles.
1 year later.
Oh, he's telling another story. Who saw this coming, ladies and gents?
So just to, give a quick rundown, Nishimura called them back and said, you know what? We want a family man, so you are going to be the guy. And, well, that just kind of fits perfectly into
Doesn't
what
it?
he becomes, and also to Nishimura's friendly nature that we saw earlier in the movie,
And
Which-
Dax Shepard comes back one last time.
which I really liked. And look, John Travolta had a baby with the bereavement girl.
Mm-hmm. I now remember where I have seen it. You know the scout leader, he looked familiar?
Yeah?
He's the brother of one of the guys from Entourage, so that's why he looks familiar.
Ah, okay.
The Japanese executives need a shout out. Thanks Keenan, Akira, Shiro, Yoshio, Seiji, and Keisuke. You were great.
Muppets were in this movie.
And lucky the dog's real name is Sebastian.
Oh, there you go. Gorilla.
Tom Woodruff Jr. There we go. We continue the trend.
There we go. All 5 movies had dogs in it, and either had dog or do in the title, and there was a junior in the cast. Oh, and here's Luiz Guzman and Dax Shepard
One more
reenacting the scene where they mix up the pills.
Like anyone could think they knew where it was going.
And how do you end the movie but with one more very nice smile?
Oh,
With many people doing it, though.
Jesus.
And let's... Yay!
Oh my god.
Oh.
Why does the baby look that way? Did they let the baby have a pill?
Well, they were like anti-seasickness pills, and babies, they vom all the time.
Can I also point out that the music playing right now was also used to in the closing credits of Mr. Deeds, which is actually a really good movie. And this is a good song. So
Is it mainly Brian Adams who did the music?
Yeah, he wrote a song for this movie, I believe.
Ooh, did it win Best Original Song?
Probably not.
Well, tomorrow we'll find out what the 2015 and 2016, the year's best song from last year was.
We're gonna find out.
But this is not where we talk about appreciated masterpieces like what the Oscars do. Even though I've already established I'm excited for it. But no!
But no.
Now is the part where we give our final thoughts. How about we start with Dan?
Well, I feel like I would need to watch it again with sound to give a proper review.
Okay, but from what you've learned from this experience of watching it with us, what do you reckon this movie, like, what is the great thing that comes from it?
The depth perception.
Oh, okay, so we were looking at kind of from like a family angle, but you're thinking of it more from like medical conditions and how we perceive people and how they actually perceive things. Like, we don't really get a good idea of how people with bad vision look.
Yeah, I feel like you need to have something within you to be able to see this movie in a appreciative sense, which I don't feel that the majority of people have. Thus, it is quite underappreciated, but it didn't really resonate with me that much, this film.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy the performances of Robin and I guess Travolta and Seth were kind of on par for me. But I'd probably give it like a 4 or a 5.
Out of 4 or 5. Wow.
The best rating system.
I really never thought of it that way. Yeah, because again, we were looking at it from the family value aspect, but you were looking at it from like the not unappreciated people, but the people who not suffering, but are struggling or have a condition that they can't get above.
Indeed. Yes.
I wasn't even thinking of that, and it really shows that when we have different guests on, they see different things in these movies.
Yeah, that's the human condition, I believe.
I give Dan a 5 out of 5. And I'm talking about Daniel Visser.
Oh. Who's our guest today, in case you didn't say
Not implying that the other Dan doesn't get one. I'm just saying that I'm reviewing him now. But Luke, it's your turn now.
Alright. Well, as most of you probably know, this movie was castigated by critics. No one thought it was any good. But the thing is, I don't think it was that bad. I think the fact that it was only about 90 minutes long helped a lot, because if it had been 120 minutes, I think there would have been a lot of unnecessary crap in there, but I think that Robin Williams actually tried for this one. It's certainly not one of his best, but he tried, and I'm inclined to give him a pass, because the great man has unfortunately left us. Rest in peace, Robin. So, all in all, I was quite entertained, and I'd give this movie a smile out of frown.
Ooh, man, that's like over 100%.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, do you reckon that this movie had like a moral?
I think the moral of the story is that old dogs can learn new tricks.
Oh, Luke, you must be friends with like every single person that made a review on this on IMDb, because that pun was used a lot.
Oh, God. Okay, can I have a different try then?
Yeah, go ahead.
The moral of the story is that even if you're not good with kids, you just need one person who's sort of good at it to make you good as well. So you shouldn't be afraid of kids, because they're more afraid of you than you are of them.
Like sharks.
Or spiders.
Yes.
Gorillas.
I don't know about the gorilla in this movie, but maybe.
I don't know, Dan.
Okay, so now I give my final thoughts, and honestly, I'm surprised. I don't know if I can top you guys on how well you guys did. Basically, I saw this movie as a character study on the two main characters, the old dogs, Dan and Charlie. They start off the movie very much unlike how they end off the movie.
Yeah.
Not only of the year, because a year passes, but even just the experiences that happen in those 2 weeks. Let me just swallow the saliva that's building in my mouth. Because it makes me talk a little bit. They learn through discussion, through practice, through finding outside people, through even creating disasters, like when they go to the camp.
Yeah.
And they meet the very interesting characters at the camp. And you know, the movie, it does a lot of bizarre things that might just baffle some critics and make them give it a bad review just based on that. But it really shows that life, you never know what it's going to throw at you, and that you're always learning.
Indeed.
Like, you know, you use the whole old dogs can learn new tricks, they can't learn new tricks. Well, life isn't about tricks. It's about being a person. And their persons definitely changed through this movie, through their experiences. And as a result, they became more paternal. They became better people, even if they already started out, you know, relatively good. I mean, they weren't criminals.
No.
The one thing they destroyed in this movie, the statue, the guy was a dick.
That's
liked
true.
it, so
He was probably a dirty colonist.
dirty what?
Colonist.
Colonist. Oh,
I mean,
from like the colonial days.
Yeah, I'm saying you probably slaughtered countless indigenous people.
Ooh. Well, you know, that's us assuming, but like, you know, when a movie can't give you all the answers, you do have to read into it for yourself, and even ignoring the story, that's something that we can get out of this movie too, because there are a lot of things unanswered, like, did the hand model, did her hand get destroyed? Did,
I want to know.
Who owned that dog at the very end of the movie next to Seth Green? What did they go through with Seth Green after that? Because they were still very angry at him in that last scene, the second last scene. So it's a movie that teaches you how to get better in life, and then even if it seems like it's ending with a happily ever after, anything could happen, and we just hope for the best. So I give this movie a wow out of a whoa.
Huh, that's quite the rating.
Yeah, almost a perfect score.
Yeah.
Is that a wah or whoa?
Wow.
Whoa. Like with an
Whoa.
A after the O.
Okay.
It's like a wow out of a whoa.
Wahoo.
So this is my favourite part, where
Ah, yes.
we read reviews. And I have 8 fantastic reviews. I will admit, a lot more of these are negative than what we are used to on the show.
Well,
But
variety is the spice of life.
Yes, but I do find some positive ones and some, of course, funny ones. So this first one is one of the longer ones for this week. It's called, "If you like this movie, you are part of the reason why Western civilization is doomed."
Okay, that's quite the
1
claim.
star out of 10, and this movie's from 2009, so around the time this movie came out. This is the movie that has me rethinking the policy of the cultural lifetime pass. If you made a record or a painting or a movie that helped lift up the standards of culture and made the world a better place, even for a brief moment, then I think you should get a pass if you're forced to make Drek to put food on the table. Drek, I think, is misspelt, but I mean, it's phonetically the same.
We'll forgive him.
I was ready to give Robin Williams his pass for reality. What a concept. Moscow on the Hudson and Insomnia. John Travolta had a potential pass for Pulp Fiction and Get Shorty. Seth Green gave us Robot Chicken. Matt Dillon, Bernie Mac, Amy Sedaris, and Margaret, for God's sakes. Ladies and gentlemen, no longer. I hereby revoke your passes.
Oh.
This movie was a pile of trite, cliched garbage.
Oh.
You could have slotted any other actors into these roles and you would have gotten the same result. A lot of mugging, a lot of canned reactions, and a lot of tired nutshot jokes. This was such bland pablum.
That's a good word.
Yeah. That I should have walked out, but I was dragged to this flick with family.
Oh.
Not with the family, with family. So, was the paycheck worth it? Probably, seeing how so many people gave it a 10 rating and are mocking the critics who rightly called out this turd for what it is. More and more people will pay good money to see Seth Green get cuddled by a gorilla or watch Williams and Travolta go through the same list of gay panic jokes, and in brackets, with a little racism thrown in for extra flavour.
Ah, that would be the tan scene.
Yeah, with that was excreted on screen for wild hogs. I guess that movie had the same problems or something. Keep polishing that turd, folks. It won't change what it is now. I'm sorry, I added the now. It just won't change what it is. Don't force the ones you love to see this movie. Stay home, read a book, play a board game, do anything but see this waste of time. Please, for the sake of the children, I beg you, do the merciful thing and put down old dogs. So there's our first dog pun.
I'm sorry, yeah, that last sentence could be construed a bad way. I need you
Yes.
to go out and start killing elderly dogs.
Well, it was in brackets, old dogs,
Ah,
so
of
like
course.
the title that you can't italicize on these, so you got to put in brackets.
Indeed.
The second review, Save Your Money, 2 out of 10 stars, also 2009. You worked hard for your paycheck, which is a lot more than can be said for anyone involved in this movie. Like an old dog that needs a bath, this thing stinks something awful. So there's a dog simile. Robin Williams and John Travolta have done better. Unfortunately, in this outing, neither delivers. It's not enough to prance into camera view and call that acting. To label their performances as phoned in is being too generous.
Oof.
All they do is mug and mechanically recite lines. Warm and fuzzy scenes look contrived and phony. Comical scenes are about as funny as having your teeth pulled out by a wench and no
What? Is that wench?
I'm
or
sorry,
wrench?
I'm sorry, I misread that. Having your teeth pulled out with a wrench
I thought
and
so.
no anesthesia.
That makes
And
sense.
no, not even anesthesia would help you endure this movie. The touchy-feely premise is this. 2 obnoxious, swinging, single midlife crisis guys are old friends and business partners. Through some dumb circumstances, and in brackets, one that has kids he didn't know about. So original, yeah. They wind up with 2 kids to care for. Idiotic? Yes. Original? No. Interesting? Definitely not. Writing is flat, the rest of the cast is flat, the plot is flat, and the director should be banned from making movies ever again. The story goes nowhere and is never involving. The characters are not likable and the intended laughs are as sparse as igloos in the Sahara Desert. It even stoops to the old groin injury bit. And then sad. At least the title makes sense. It's all old stuff and it's a dog.
Well, you can't argue with that.
The movie's a dog and it's old
It's-
stuff.
Is a
Wow.
dog.
Okay, so this next review is a 6-star review, and one thing I noticed...
Alright.
No. For some reason, all the 6-star reviews I read, with the exception of one, were all really positive.
Then why did they give it more stars?
I don't know, but everyone who gave this movie a 6 stars seemed to really like the movie.
Alright, read on.
So yeah, more than the 7-star people, I think. Right, so this one's called Not As Bad As I Expected.
What a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, most of them are like that. 6 stars, and it's from 2009. While looking for a family Thanksgiving movie, I realized I only had 2 options. This or Twilight. Since there was no way in hell I was going to see Twilight, I decided to read some review and go see this. Oh god, the reviews were awful. After seeing this film, I will admit it's not that bad. The acting is for the most part good, and some of the jokes are funny. Admittedly, this joke runs way too long, too spelt with 1 O, and not to spoil it, but the producers could have cut at least 15 mins out of it. That dragged the whole movie down. I'd go see it again, at least it doesn't have glittering vampires. Alright.
Well,
This next one is 8 stars, and the title is Old Guys Who Are Still Trying to Keep Everything Together, 2009. This one's prefaced. This review may contain spoilers.
look away.
John Travolta and Robin Williams are a great comedic duo with their slapstick comedy throughout this movie. This movie shows what best friends are like and what situations friends get you into.
Yeah, my friends all have Japanese spears on their walls.
Poison tipped at one
Poison
point.
tipped, yeah.
Friends will stand by you no matter what your situation is. Never make a promise to a kid unless you can make it happen. Even though you might have trouble with parenting at first, you will get the hang of it and find a better person you never know you could become.
Hey, that's my moral.
Yeah. Once you have decisions that you have already made, it's hard to go through with them when you want something else. Talking about the climax. It shows you real-life situations of what could happen if you find out something unexpected in your life, and anyone can relate to these situations. All of this will be shown throughout this movie, which makes it an interesting one to watch. Robin Williams has been out of the picture for some time, but was last seen as the voice of Roosevelt in the latest Night at the Museum, and in World's Greatest Dad. In fact, in Night at the Museum, he also played the actual actor, not just the voice, but
Yeah. Close.
John Travolta I had last seen as Ryder in the train hijacker on The Taking of Pelham 123.
That was actually a great movie.
Yeah. Which is a really great action movie starring Denzel Washington too.
Yeah.
Both actors have come a long way and are going through tough times in their lives. They come out shinning in this movie made by Disney and are yeah, two ends. Shinning. Just like the Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
In this movie made by Disney and are very funny and fun to watch in this movie together. I'd like to read that sentence again.
Yeah.
They come out shinning in this movie made by Disney and they are very funny and to watch in this movie together. They use movie twice, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, my head hurts.
Also, Bernie Mac has made an appearance in this movie and it was great to see him since he will be forever missed. This movie will have you laughing throughout and leaves you with a great message in the ending. And that's the end of the review.
It's not going to tell us what it is?
No. Alright, another 6-star review. A good dose of spray-on fun.
I think that's a pun or something.
Yeah, and this is 2010. Not 2009. This movie was funny, heartfelt, and good. By far one of the better comedies I've seen come out in 2009. The same year as Meet Dave, I believe. The cast of Old Dogs is really good, as everyone has great on-screen charisma, and everyone is a gifted actor. So that works well in a great way. I like Robin Williams, but I must say that John Travolta did a really good job in this movie. Brackets. I am usually not a big fan of his work. The movie is good for fun and laughter, whether you sit down to watch it alone with your significant other or with your whole family. There is something in this movie for everyone. Old Dogs have a somewhat sassy story. Old Dogs have a somewhat sassy story. Should be has, but okay. Sure.
Alright.
It was a Disney product after all, but it worked out well anyway. I was thoroughly amused throughout the entire movie, and I was laughing a lot as well. The majority of the movie revolves around comedy, but the drama aspect of the story worked well entwined with the comedy. It came together as a heartfelt wholesome.
A heartfelt also.
Yeah.
That's all it says.
I recommend this movie warmly for its good story and laughs, and I say this movie is the type that you will pick up again and watch at a later time. It's true for Daniel.
Yeah. You
Maybe.
said you would. You said
Maybe.
you would.
That was a very positive review, and again, only 6 stars. Alright, the next movie. Do Not Be Afraid of These Old Dogs. This is an 8-star review from 2009. Old Dogs is a complex period piece on the gerontology of the animal species, and it will receive a plethora of Oscar nominations.
Oh god.
No,
it's gonna
I
be
am-
one of these.
No, I am just dogging you. Old Dogs stars Robin Williams as Dan and John Travolta as Charlie. Team Danley, sort of speak.
What?
I think he means so to speak. But right? Team Danley, sort of speak. It's like
This is in
he's
brackets.
doing like a Tumblr shipping
Yeah.
thing where he mixes their names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Team Danley, and in brackets, sort of speak, are 2 middle-aged BFF who are also business partners of a New York sports marketing firm.
Oh, so that's what they do.
Yes. Dan has been divorced twice, even though one was an annulment from a one-night stand due to crazy partying in South Beach.
Oh.
Charlie is still single, living life as if he was in his 20s by picking up hottie Charlie's Angels left and right.
Jesus Christ.
The premise... Sorry. Deep breath. The premise bark of Old Dogs is that Dan discovers he is a father of 7-year-old twins when the past one night stand Vicky, Kelly Preston, suddenly meets up with him and throws the kid bomb at him. Dan still has the hots for Vicky, so in part of his courting in trying to get the Vicky's vapor back in his life, he agrees to care for his newfound kids while Vicky is away to prison for 2 weeks for trespassing. I like how he doesn't really establish that she's going to prison, so he's like suddenly, 2 weeks in prison for
She
trespassing.
just felt like going.
Yeah. Dan is not exactly bait as being a prototype adult who works well with kids. So
Prototype adult.
yeah, prototypical, I think he means. So he asks Charlie for assistance during his daddy-o experience. Consequently, the slapstick kicks in during many of their experience, such as a brutal frisbee game during a camping weekend trip,
Yeah, we've all been there.
a prescribed drug mix-up that causes zany effect, and an uproarious zoo experience.
Oh.
Team Danley, at the same time they are caring for the kids, are also trying to lock up a lucrative business deal with a Japanese corporation. So of course these old dogs are turning Japanese. I think they are turning Japanese. I really think so.
Oh my god, he made the joke.
Yep. Old Dogs is silly, predictable, immature, and delirious, and in brackets like this review.
At least you're self-aware.
Yes. But somehow I could not stop laughing. Even though the film did not teach this old dog new comedic tricks, I still found it to be a guilty pleasure laugh riot.
Okay.
Travolta and Williams were moderately comedic, playing their prototypical characters in this genre. He used the word this time, prototypical.
Oh, you got it right.
However, the young dog who was the top dog here was Seth Green with his gagfest performance as assistant Ralph.
He was pretty good.
I thought his name was Craig, but okay.
Yeah, what Ralph?
I don't know who's wrong, but...
His name was Craig, I remember.
Okay, because I remember you called him Craig at one point. I'm like, oh, that's his name. I'll just remember that.
What
But
a
Ralph, I don't know.
Odd thing to say.
Someone's wrong here. His frightened gestures and screams were a comedic classic.
Ooh.
So I am probably the only pseudo-critic who might give kudos to director Walt Becker and screenwriter David Diamond for their filmmaking of Old Dogs. But I cannot deny the fun I had in my dog day afternoon watching Old Dogs. Ugh. Bark away your blues and fetch on Old Dogs today. Four asterisks is good. I don't know if he's trying to say fuck good, shit good, cut good, or I don't know. Maybe he
Shit good.
Oh, yeah, maybe you know what? He gave it 8 stars. Maybe he's giving it like 4 out of 5, which doubled his 8 out of 10. So maybe that's what's going on.
That seems really silly.
Yeah. Whatever. Next review. This one's a shorter one. And it's the second last one. Both of the last two are short. Count the Bouncing Microphones.
What?
5 out of 10 from 2009. The acting and story in Old Dogs was just fine for this very light comedy. The cinematographer, however, should be drummed out of the industry.
Oh.
So many shots were poorly framed, chins and tops of heads cut off or shot from the POV of the belly button. Worst of all were the shots where the microphone and sometimes the entire boom holding the microphone was visible.
Oh my god, we need to go back and find it.
I stopped counting after 25. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
How do we
so
not...
distracting and unprofessional. It felt like we were watching the daily rushes or the video of the production, and not the final edit. Any film student who committed gas like that would have flunked out. I can't believe that Disney would release such an unpolished product. There has to be more to this story, and I wish I knew what it was.
Can I just say, I didn't... 25, he said, and possibly more.
He stopped counting at 25.
I didn't see a single one. Did you guys?
I didn't.
There might have been a reflection of one at a window at one point, but other than that, no. And yeah... I like how he ends it by saying, there has to be more to this story, and I wish I knew what it was.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a finished product, mate.
He's got to get to the bottom of this.
Alright, and the last review, which I love, but let me just make sure, yep. Alright, so this movie, this review is called Totally Incorrect.
What if?
5 out of 10 stars, 2009. Alright, listen to this.
Strap sells in.
Old Dogs was just totally incorrect. For instance, they go to a zoo in Burlington, Vermont. I've lived in Vermont my whole life, and I have yet to ever see or hear of a zoo in Vermont. Also, it shows the Westford Correctional Center in Vermont. The best thing about this is I'm from Westford, Vermont. There is no traffic light, no sidewalks, and it is a tiny town with less than 2,000 people. This movie was incorrect, and they should do more research before they go do movies like this. But overall, after I got past those problems, the movie was pretty good. I thought this was a good role for Robin Williams and had an interesting plot line to it.
Yeah, but what do you think of the movie?
Well, and we haven't ever done this on the show, but I just want to point out, you know how IMDb reviews have number of people out of number of people found this review helpful?
Yeah.
0 out of 17 people found this following review useful.
Sorry, man.
And that is it for the IMDb reviews of this movie. So, effectively we are finished with this episode, but do we have anything else we want to say? I mean, Dog Month is over.
Dog Month is over.
Yeah. Luke, you were in 3 out of 5 episodes.
Yeah.
What did you think of Dog Month?
I think it was okay. Yes.
That's very humble, Luke.
Thanks. I couldn't think of anything else to say.
You don't have to be humble because it's not your show.
Fine.
But
I thought it was a thrilling escapade of multiple canine proportions. Plus, Cuba Gooding Jr. got the shit kicked out of him, and we can all appreciate that.
Yes, you appreciated that, and one of the reviews from last week appreciated that.
Yes.
Daniel, did you enjoy your experience in this episode?
Yeah, it was, I guess it was kind of like a pseudo dog movie, but well, yeah, I enjoyed the experience. It was kind of like a expected entertainment movie with the comedy that was used, but yeah, it was eye-opening.
Cool. Well, everyone who has joined in and been listening people throughout these 5 episodes, and in fact the 10 before it, thank you very much for coming on to listen to the Dog Month Dogathon of Spit and Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces.
We hope you have enjoyed yourselves.
We hope you have enjoyed yourselves. We hope that you have found out how you can use the dog within you to better your lives, because all of these movies have relatively happy endings.
Yeah, I mean, a dog did die in this one, so.
But it's no Marley and me.
Oh, yeah, well.
Well, the dog wasn't really a major character in it that much.
Wash your mouth out with soap, Bartek.
I'm not a duck or a chicken or whatever. So, thank you very much for listening, and we hope you have a fantastic day.
Bye.